Want to call this meeting of Veterans Affairs and Emergency Preparedness to order. Jamie, can you please, Carrie, can you please take the roll?
Chairman Solomon.
Here.
Rep. Borowski. Rep. Brown.
By designation.
Rep. Genst.
VBD.
Rep. Haddock. Here. Rep. Markosic.
VBD.
Rep. Monroe.
VBD.
Rep. O'Mara. Here. Rep. Pielli. Here. Rep. Sappi.
VBD.
Rep. Scott.
VBD.
Rep. Takak.
VBD.
Rep. Webster.
I just saw him. He's not here? Yeah, where do you go? Okay, VBD for now.
Rep. Dan Williams.
VBD.
Chairman Gillen.
Here.
Rep. Banta. Here. Rep. Ham. Here. Rep. Krupa. Here. Rep. Miko.
Here.
Rep. Rigby. Here. Rep. Shalaba.
VBD.
Rep. Stair.
Here.
Rep. Stender.
Here.
Rep. Watro. Rep. Craig Williams.
Here.
You have a quorum.
Thank you, Carrie. First, I will take a motion from Rep. O'Mara, seconded by Rep. Pielli, to bring up Senate Bill 365, authored by Senator Bartolotta. Since substantially similar bill, the senator's not here, correct? No. Okay. Since a substantially similar bill was authored by Rep. O'Mara, if you would like to provide comments, please.
Good afternoon. Sorry, I was checking the watch. Good afternoon, colleagues. And thank you, Mr. Chairman, for calling up for consideration Senate Bill 365. Really excited that we are at this point with this piece of legislation. I know many of you have heard me talk about this before, so I will try to be brief, but this bill, Senate Bill 365, is the companion bill to House Bill 1632, our legislation which would add PTSI as a compensatable injury for mental claims for first responders. You may recall we voted on this bill back in March out of our committee. At the time, it passed 23 yeas and 2 nays. And since then, we have been working with many stakeholders. Senator Bartolotta and I have been a great team, a bipartisan, bicameral team working on this legislation. And we have finally gotten to a point where almost all stakeholders are either neutral or supportive of the bill. There were a couple of changes made. In the Senate, they took House Bill 1632 and they amended that language into Senate Bill 365. And then they made a couple other changes. The 2 most notable are tweaking the definition of emergency responder to clarify that we're capturing first responders who respond to emergency calls, and capping the compensation benefits for job-related PTSI, a mental injury, at 104 weeks. I want to just remind all of you, our first responders are struggling. Many of you have already voted yes on this bill because you understand the crisis that they are facing. 1/3 of all first responders are dealing with mental health issues. Many of them are PTSI. And unfortunately, we know that when post-traumatic stress injury goes untreated, it can have detrimental impacts on someone, up to and including death by suicide. That is the story of my father, a 25-year firefighter and United States Marine. And he is the reason I ran for office. His memory is the reason I ran for office, and trying to make sure that there are less families that are impacted the way mine were. And so I ask all of you today to support this legislation. I have been in Harrisburg for 6 years. And we've been working on this since before then, under former Chairman Steve Barrar, so it's been a long time. But there are a few times where I feel like we have an opportunity to do something really good. And this is one of those times. And so I hope that we can continue this bill now in its current form, passed unanimously out of the Senate. I hope it can be unanimous today, and then we'll go to the floor. So I'll turn it back to you now, but I also would be remiss if I didn't also thank Chairman Solomon, who has been a steadfast partner in moving this piece of legislation, and Chairman Gillen, who made sure that he has been championing this with me since the beginning of this session and before. So both of those members have worked really hard to get to this moment with me, and we're gonna celebrate when it's done together. Thank you.
Rep. O'Mara, thank you so much for your tireless work on this legislation. Representative Craig Williams.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. And I would like to echo that very thought, Representative O'Mara. Thank you for working so hard on this, not only with your own bill, but with the negotiation with the Senate. One piece that you didn't mention that I would like for you to take a bow for and take credit for also is that in addition to passing out of this committee 23-2, we voted on this piece of legislation in May of 24, just before the budget season, and it passed out of the House 154-46. So with these additional guardrails that came over from the Senate, like you, Representative, I hope that we can get this unanimously. Thank you.
Thank you, Representative Williams. We're also joined in person by Representative Webster, Representative Takak, Representative Genst. Others on the legislation. Chairman Gillen.
Thank you, Representative O'Mara, for leading with your head, your mind, your ability to craft legislation, and when you couple that with your compelling personal story and your dad's memory, it's very moving. And so thank you for leading with your head and your heart. As a former first responder, been around mass casualty incidents, certainly this is a challenge that people face. And as much as anything else, I hope the memory of your father, which has instilled the value in you to promote this legislation, will result in lives being saved. Thank you, Mr. Chairman.
Thank you, Chairman Gillen. Are there any negative votes on Senate Bill 365? Seeing none, the legislation passes unanimously and will move to the floor for consideration. Our next order of business is House Resolution 550, authored by Representative Rozzi. Mike, can you provide a brief description of the resolution?
Sure. House Resolution 550 by Representative Rozzi designates December 14th, 2024 as Wreaths Across America Day in Pennsylvania.
I'll take a motion from Representative Borowski, seconded by Representative Ham to bring up the resolution. Are there any comments or questions about the resolution? Representative Borowski.
Thank you, Chair. I just want to note that Wreaths Across America, so if people aren't aware of it, it is an event to celebrate our veterans, and it's a very exciting. It passes right through my district at the Delaware County Veterans Memorial, which is located in the 168th. So if anyone would like to come and participate and view it, it's really a sight to behold. It's a big caravan, and they move through, and then they head down and they put the wreaths on at Arlington Cemetery. So it really is a special event and certainly something to honor our veterans. And I thank Representative Rozzi for bringing forth this resolution.
Thank you, Representative. Any other comments? Are there any negative votes? Seeing none, the resolution passes unanimously and moves to the floor for consideration. Our last item of business is House Resolution 551, authored by Representative Webster. I'll take a motion from Representative Mako, seconded by Representative Takak, to bring up the resolution. Representative Webster on the resolution.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. I'll be very quick. This resolution passed the House earlier this session, 202 to 1. It was sponsored by Representative Kinsey. So I've been, as Representative Kinsey has retired, I'm reintroducing the resolution so that we can celebrate the birthday for the United States National Guard, 388 years young. on December 13th coming forward. And I am, just a personal note, as a young Air Force captain, I actually served in the National Guard Bureau for a couple of years. So I can spell guard, and I know how valuable it is to the Commonwealth of Pennsylvania. And thank you, Mr. Chairman.
Thank you, Representative. Any comments? Chairman Gillen, I'm sorry I missed you on the last one. If you had any comments on the
Now,
last
I'm
one.
going to
sir.
have to make twice as many comments. Representative Rozzi and I were involved with Reese Across America in Berks County, and we share a rating area district, so we certainly have a treasure trove of memories from people out there. And I think we have members of the Pennsylvania National Guard here, if I'm not mistaken, a number of veterans, and so it's especially rewarding to commemorate the 388th birthday of the United States National Guard. Thank you, Mr. Chairman.
Thank you, Chairman Gillen. Are there any negative votes? Seeing none, resolution passes unanimously. It will move to the floor for consideration. Is there any other business? This meeting is adjourned.